My boyfriend locked me in the car for 2 hours at his sister's wedding because he was ashamed of me, so I left without a word. Hey everyone. Before we kick off today's video, I've got a favor to ask. We've noticed our channel isn't getting as much love lately, and subscribing is one of the easiest ways you can help us out. It's quick, free, and it means we can keep bringing you awesome content. Your support really means a lot, so let's work together to keep this channel growing. Thanks a bunch. Now, let's dive into the video. So, I spent 2 months saving up for a wedding gift for Raul's sister. When we finally got to the wedding, he introduced me as just a friend and even winked at the bridesmaids. I just smiled and tried to brush it off. A few weeks later, I found myself ignoring 41 frantic voicemails from him. I had been dating Raul for about 8 months, and things seemed to be going really well, not fairytale perfect, but we were definitely in the this could turn into something real territory. But then came his sister Monica's wedding day and, boy, did things take a turn for the worse. Let me rewind a bit to how we met because it adds a whole lot of context to just how betrayed I felt. So, the way we met was straight out of a rom-com. I was at this super crowded art exhibition, which was being sponsored by the company Raul works for. They were showcasing some fancy new projection tech. Everything was going great until a huge thunderstorm hit, knocking out the power and plunging everything into darkness. People started using their phone flashlights to see, and in all this chaos, Raul accidentally bumped into me. He was super apologetic and helped me find a bathroom to fix my contact lens that had gotten jostled. After the power was restored, we ended up chatting for hours at the exhibition cafe. At one point, he even said that the emergency lights made my face look like the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen, a total heart melter, right? Let's just say, my inner romantic was sold. Fast forward to his sister Monica's wedding. I was thrilled because I hadn't met his family yet, a fact that, in hindsight, should have been a warning sign. Whenever I brought it up, Raul always had a reason. They were busy, they lived on the other side of town, Monica was busy planning her wedding, you get the idea. But finally, this was the chance for the big family meetup. I spent weeks looking for the perfect dress, wanting to strike the right balance, pretty but not too flashy. I finally settled on this lovely dusty rose midi dress with some silver floral embroidery, especially meaningful since Raul and I had such a cute meet cute involving art. I did my makeup all nice, put on the silver necklace Raul had given me for our 6-month anniversary, and wrapped up the wedding gift. Monica and her fiancé Stanley are huge anime fans, and I'd heard them mention a dream honeymoon to Japan. I saved up $1,500 in Japanese yen and added a certificate for a traditional tea ceremony experience in Kyoto, all presented in a hand-painted wooden box with cherry blossoms. Raul thought I went overboard, but I wanted his family to like me. So, the big day comes, and on the drive to this gorgeous garden venue an hour out of town, Raul starts acting weird. He's all critique about my outfit, saying it might be too much for his traditional family, which totally made me second-guess myself, but I'd spent weeks on this look and knew I looked good. We roll up to the venue around 2:30, and the ceremony is at 3. That's when Raul drops the bombshell, asking me to wait in the car. I laughed, thinking he was kidding. But nope, he's dead serious. He says his family is particular and he needs to prep them before they meet me. I was like, seriously? They know about me, right? After all, we've been seeing each other for 8 months. He exploded, telling me, my family doesn't need to see your pathetic face and disgusting dress, just wait here. I was totally stunned. Before I could even react, he snatched my purse, took my phone out, and walked off with the box of yen, locking the car with me inside. I was trapped, and my mind was racing. Is this real life? It was a hot June day, and the car started to feel like an oven. I tried the doors, but they were locked. I honked the horn, but we were parked in such a secluded spot that nobody heard me or cared to help. I was in that car for 2 hours. The ceremony happened without me, and there I was, a mess of tears and smeared makeup. I thought about breaking a window but hesitated, thinking maybe there was some kind of misunderstanding. Should have shattered it. When he finally came back, acting like everything was just peachy, he unlocked the door and said, "They're ready to meet you now." I was beyond words, my hair was a wreck, my makeup was pretty much destroyed, and I couldn't believe what I'd just gone through. But in my state of shock, I got out of the car, just trying to process what had just happened. So, we hop out of the car, and I'm thinking it's time to get my phone back, but he just tells me he'll hand it over later. At this point, my brain is spinning with all kinds of wild theories. Maybe his family is super old school and he's freaking out, or maybe he's hiding something from me, I honestly have no idea. I'm coming up with a million excuses for his weird behavior as I trail behind him toward the reception. We walk into this dreamy tent with twinkling lights everywhere, and Monica looks absolutely stunning in her wedding dress. Raoul steers me over to her and Stanley, and even though I feel like complete trash, I slap on my best smile. Then comes the ultimate backstab. Hey sis, this is Nadia, she's, just a friend from work. Just a friend? For real? After 8 months together, a cute rom-com worthy meeting, a silver necklace he gave me, 31 nights spent at my place, and even Christmas with my folks, I'm just a friend? And then he winks at one of the bridesmaids standing next to Monica, and she giggles and winks back. I'm standing there stunned, like I'm in some bizarre world where nothing adds up. Monica looks confused but maintains her smile because, well, it's her wedding day and she's got other guests to greet. All night long, Raoul keeps introducing me to his family, relatives, cousins, uncles, always with that same weirdly dismissive tone, checking out the room like he's on the hunt for someone more interesting. I keep smiling, being polite, saying all the right things, because what else am I supposed to do? Cause a scene at someone's wedding? Yell he locked me in a car for 2 hours? Yeah, that would go over well. So now it's the morning after. I finally got my phone back and Raoul dropped me off at my place acting like the whole night was a success. He even leaned in for a goodnight kiss, and I turned away, didn't seem to faze him at all. And the wedding gift, oh boy. I saved for 2 months to buy that thing, and now it's chilling with the other presents at Monica and Stanley's place. Raoul didn't even bother to mention it was from me. I haven't slept a wink, my mind's in overdrive trying to figure out if our whole relationship was just a big sham. Was I just convenient until someone better showed up? I'm torn. Do I confront him? Do I play it smart? Part of me wants to spill everything to Monica, while another part just wants to cut all ties with him. Any advice would be gold right about now because my brain's on a hamster wheel, and I'm pretty sure our relationship just crashed and burned in the worst way possible. Edit, thanks for all the advice. I'm gonna take some time to think it over, and I'll update you when I make a decision. And for those asking if this is real, I sure wish it wasn't. First update, first off, huge thanks to everyone who commented on my last post. I literally teared up reading some of your messages. It made me realize I wasn't overreacting or losing my mind. The internet came through with express delivery support, and I appreciate it. So, it's been 4 days since the wedding disaster, and here's what's happened. After my post, I ghosted Raoul's messages for a whole day. He sent his usual good morning, beautiful text as if he hadn't just locked me up and pretended I was some random coworker during an entire wedding. The audacity of this guy is unreal, like he lives in a world where logic and decency don't exist. I needed to wrap my head around everything before having it out with him, so I called in sick to work. Perks of remote work: nobody can tell if your eyes are puffy from a cold or a breakup meltdown. I couldn't stop thinking about that gift sitting at Monica and Stanley's place, with them having no clue it was from me. I coughed up $1,500, saving by eating ramen, hustling extra freelance gigs, and skipping my usual writing hangouts at coffee shops for weeks to find the perfect tea ceremony experience. All wrapped up in a gorgeous hand-painted box. Side note, I'm not exactly rolling in dough. I'm a content writer who occasionally struggles to pay rent, so this gift was a big deal because I wanted his family to like me, a stellar decision, apparently. So, I was plotting my next move when Raoul just shows up at my apartment out of nowhere with takeout from my fave spot like everything's fine. When I opened the door, he actually looked puzzled at my tear-streaked face and asked, "What's wrong with you?" Before barging in, I hit him with the big question, why lock me in a car and introduce me as just a friend? His explanation? Get this, apparently, his ex, who was one of the bridesmaids, the winky one, was there too. They dated for 2 years before she dumped him about a year ago, and he didn't want to look like a loser who had moved on with. So, this guy totally showed his true colors. I asked him what he meant by less impressive, and he just threw out, "You know what I mean. Gina's got family money, her dad golfs with my dad. You're cute, but not exactly country club material." Seriously, I was shaking just typing this out. Then he had the nerve to claim it was a compliment because he was dating me despite my basic status and that I should be grateful he saw something in me beyond my simple job and apartment. He was unpacking dinner on my coffee table like everything was normal. I was so stunned, I felt like I was watching a documentary about some snake swallowing its prey. So I asked him about the wedding gift, and get this, he said he told them it was from him. Monica was impressed, and he brushed it off like it would have been too much coming from me anyway, as if they'd think I was trying too hard. That was it for me. Everything just clicked, and I calmly asked him to leave. He was genuinely confused, asking why I was being so sensitive, and saying he was just being honest because most guys wouldn't bother with someone like me. I just opened the door and pointed. He finally realized I was serious and left, taking the food with him like a total parasite, muttering about me being dramatic and that I'd call him once I calmed down. The moment he left, I felt this weird sense of calm, like after a storm, and I knew exactly what I had to do. The next day, I went online, found Monica on social media, and saw she and Stanley were in town for another week. They had a family dinner planned for the next night, perfect timing for my revenge. Over the next 3 days, Raul kept texting, starting with confusion, moving to annoyance, and finally to pleading. I kept my replies vague to keep him at bay. Meanwhile, I went to the bank, got $1,500 in cash. It was a stretch for me, but this was about principle now. I exchanged it for yen and bought a nice box and another tea ceremony experience, recreating the whole wedding gift. It wiped out my savings, but some things just go beyond money. Yesterday was the dinner at Raul's parents' place. Obviously, I wasn't invited, but I had my own plan. I texted Raul, suggesting we meet at a coffee shop near his parents' house. He showed up, thinking he was the winner here. We had a brief chat, he gave a half-hearted apology, and then noticed the gift box. When he asked what it was, I said it was the wedding gift for his sister. Since he took credit for the original, I made another one. He actually laughed, thinking I was being ridiculous. That's when I told him I planned to give it to her in person right then and there. You should have seen his face. He went pale, started freaking out, and told me I couldn't do that because it would embarrass him. I just looked at him and said, "I'm not going to embarrass you, Raul. You've done that yourself. I'm just going to tell the truth." I grabbed the gift and left, with him trailing behind me begging and threatening in turns. I hopped into my Uber before he could stop me, and as we pulled away, he was on his phone, probably trying to warn his family. But it was too late. I got to his parents' place around 5:45, early enough to make my entrance but late enough for Monica and Stanley to be there. I knocked on the door with my heart racing. So I head over to Raul's mom's house, and she opens the door looking a bit confused but still super polite. "Can I help you?" she asks. I tell her I'm there to see Monica because I have something for her. From inside, I hear Monica's voice asking, "Who is it?" And then she shows up at the door. When she recognizes me, she's like, "Oh, you're the one from the wedding." I smile and say, "Yep, that's what I wanted to chat about." Mrs. Alvarez, still looking puzzled but being nice, invites me in. Their house is super cozy, with photos all over and dinner being prepped in the kitchen. Stanley's setting the table, and there's this older guy, probably Raul's dad, watching TV in the living room. Monica and I find a quiet spot in the living room, and I hand her a gift box, saying, "This is for you and Stanley. Congrats on the wedding." She looks surprised and asks, "Thanks. But sorry, what's your name again?" I say, "Nadia, and I'm not actually Raul's co-worker." What happens next deserves its own post because it's a lot, and Raul just appeared at my apartment door, banging away. I've got to handle this, but I'll totally update you soon. Edit, Raul's gone now, but he left me this epic length text message. Drama central over here. Second update, okay, yesterday was wild, but you all have been amazing, so here's the scoop. I was chilling in Raul's parents' living room, about to spill the tea to Monica about who I really am. I take a big breath and tell her the truth. Raul and I have been dating for 8 months. During her wedding, he locked me in the car, took my phone, and then went around pretending I was just some friend while flirting with his ex, Gina, the bridesmaid. Monica's face was a roller coaster of emotions, confusion, disbelief, then total shock. She kept insisting, "No way, Raul wouldn't do that." But when I mentioned the OG wedding gift, something Raul claimed credit for, her eyes went wide. "The Japan fund with the tea ceremony? That was you?" she asked, and I nodded. I even showed her pics on my phone of me working on a currency exchange and picking out the original gift box at this artsy shop. She was baffled, saying, "I don't get it." Raul went on and on about how much thought he put into it, researching Japanese stuff just 'cause we love anime. I quietly said, "That was all me. I did all the digging, found the tea ceremony, and even got a calligrapher to write your names in Japanese for the certificate." She looked down at the new gift box, and I explained, "I just couldn't let you not know it was from me. I wanted to meet you properly." Stanley had wandered over, curious about our chat, and when Monica filled him in, he was like, "I knew something was off with that gift. Raul's never cared about our Japan plans, he just makes fun of us for our anime obsession." That's when the front door slammed, and Raul burst in, out of breath like he'd sprinted there. He froze when he saw me with Monica and Stanley, the gift box wide open. "What the hell are you doing here?" he demanded, acting like I was the one in the wrong. Before I could say anything, Monica stood up and asked if it was true that he locked his girlfriend in a car during their wedding. The room went dead quiet. Mrs. Alvarez stepped out from the kitchen, hand towel in tow, while Mr. Alvarez muted the TV. Raul tried to brush it off with a laugh, saying, "She's not my girlfriend, just some girl I hang out with who got too attached and is now spreading stories." That's when I whipped out my phone. I was ready for this kind of denial. I showed them our text history, pictures of us together, the reservation for our beach trip 3 months back, and even a birthday card he gave me that read "to my gorgeous girlfriend." And, oh yeah, the silver necklace he got me for our 6-month anniversary. I was wearing it in most of the photos, even at the wedding. Monica started scrolling through my phone, face growing darker with each swipe, and then handed it to her mom, who was looking more and more upset. "Explain all this, Raul," Monica said, and then Raul kicked off with the lies. He claimed the text could be with anyone, that I changed the contact name, that the photos meant nothing. He admitted to a few hookups but called me crazy and clingy. With every lie, his family looked more disgusted. Mrs. Alvarez actually covered her mouth when he called me crazy, and Monica just cut him off. So there we were, in the middle of this awkward moment. Raul was all over the place with his excuses about this gift from the Japan Fund and the tea ceremony. He was trying to figure out if it was from him or his sister. I could see the gears turning in his head as he looked at the open gift box, then at me, then over to his sister. Finally, he admitted, "We got it together. It was my idea, but she helped." Stanley, who was listening, just rolled his eyes and said, "Dude, just stop lying." That's when Mr. Alvarez jumped in, asking Raul point blank if he locked me in his car during his sister's wedding. The question was so direct it kind of caught Raul off guard. His shoulders drooped, and he mumbled something about it not being like that, trailing off because he knew any excuse would sound terrible. The silence in the room was intense. Mrs. Alvarez eventually broke it by coming over to me, taking my hands, and apologizing for Raul's behavior. I got emotional, which set off a chain reaction. She started crying, and then Monica teared up too. Mr. Alvarez said something to Raul in Spanish that I couldn't understand, but from the tone, it was clear he was super disappointed. Raul got all defensive and started pointing fingers at me as if I was the problem. Mr. Alvarez calmly told him to leave, saying not tonight, not in his house. Raul was shocked, asking if they were kicking him out because of me. Monica stepped in to clarify, it wasn't because of me, but because of what Raul had done. The whole thing felt like a huge family showdown, and I thought maybe I should just leave. But as I was gathering my stuff, Mrs. Alvarez gently touched my arm and asked me to stay for dinner. She said they wanted to get to know the real me. So yeah, I ended up having dinner with Raul's family, minus Raul. It was awkward at first, but also really great. Monica and Stanley turned out to be lovely people, genuinely interested in the tea ceremony, asking me tons of questions about it. Mr. and Mrs. Alvarez were warm and welcoming once they got over the initial shock. During dinner, Raul was blowing up my phone with texts, so I just turned it off. After dinner, when I was getting ready to leave, Monica gave me a hug and thanked me for having the guts to speak up. She mentioned she'd noticed Raul changing over the past year, becoming more secretive and arrogant, but didn't want to believe he could be so mean. When I got home around 10 p.m., I found 27 missed calls and 41 text messages from Raul. The messages went from angry outbursts like, "How dare you go to my family," to panic, "What did you tell them?" to desperate please call me back, this is a misunderstanding, and finally a sense of defeat, they won't let me come home. The next morning, there was a voicemail from an unknown number. It was Gina, a bridesmaid, and apparently Raul's ex. Turns out he tried crashing at her place, but she turned him down. She apologized for her role in the wedding drama, saying she had no clue he had a girlfriend and felt bad about the flirting. Gina mentioned Raul ended up at the train station after she turned him away, sending her dramatic selfies from a bench all night. I've decided not to respond to anyone for now, I need time to process everything. Monica invited me for coffee next week, wanting to thank me properly for the gift and maybe compare notes about Raul. I think I'll go. As for Raul, well, karma has definitely shown up. I'll update you all once things settle a bit. Oh, and stop asking for Raul's station selfies, Gina just mentioned them in her voicemail. No, I haven't replied to any of his messages yet. Final update, it's been 2 weeks since my last update, and things are finally calming down. So, about those 41 voicemails? I listened to them all, and wow, they're like a textbook on manipulation. The first 5 are pure rage, calling me every name in the book, accusing me of ruining his life, threatening me. Then voicemails 6 to 12 are him playing the victim, crying about his family turning against him and having to sleep at the train station. Voicemails 13 to 20 are him rewriting history, suddenly claiming our relationship was the best thing ever and he never meant to hurt me, calling the car incident a misunderstanding. Voicemails 21 to 30 are all about bargaining, promising to make it up to me, introduce me properly to everyone, and even pay me back for the wedding gift. Finally, voicemails 31 to 41 are full of desperation, more tears, begging me to call him back because he has nowhere to go. The last voicemail, left at 4:37 a.m., was just him breathing and sniffling for 2 minutes. I didn't reply to any of them. Instead, I met Monica for coffee as planned, and she turned out to be even cooler in a more relaxed setting. So, I had this super long chat with Monica, and we realized we have so much in common, aside from her brother, who is, shall we say, not my favorite person. We talked for, 3 hours straight. She caught me up on how the family is dealing with everything. Turns out, Raul's been pretty much shut out, not just financially, even though he has a decent job in tech, but also emotionally. His parents, who were bizarrely still helping with his rent, laid down the law. His dad told him that unless he truly changed his ways and showed some real remorse, he wasn't welcome at family gatherings anymore. Oh, and get this, Raul actually tried to show up to Sunday dinner last week but was turned away at the door by his mom, who hit him with the classic reap what you sow line. Monica said Raul's been telling everyone I'm unstable and manipulative, but it's not working. The whole wedding gift fiasco has become a bit of a family legend, thanks to Monica spilling the beans about it all. Apparently, Raul's always been the golden child who could do no wrong, but my visit was the wake-up call his parents needed to see the real Raul. They're totally devastated by this new revelation. I've been texting with Gina, who used to be a bridesmaid and an ex of Raul's. It turns out Raul fed her a bunch of lies about me at the wedding, saying I was some clingy coworker who invited myself. She's feeling really bad about believing that nonsense. As for me, I'm actually doing pretty great. Sure, there have been moments of doubt and sadness because 8 months is a long time, even with someone who turned out to be such a jerk. But mostly, I just feel free, like I dodged a bullet from a relationship that would have been suffocating. Oh, and yesterday, I got this sweet package from Monica and Stanley. It was a handmade journal with a note saying, "For our new friend who helped us see things clearly. Look forward, not back." I literally cried for an hour. Raul stopped calling a few days ago. Monica told me he's crashing with a gamer buddy and telling people he broke up with me because I was too needy. Classic Raul, trying one last time to save face before vanishing. Some updates: Monica and Stanley insisted on reimbursing me for the wedding gifts. I didn't want to take it at first, but we settled on them paying half, and I'm tagging along to their tea ceremony in Kyoto next spring. My bank account took a hit from the double gift situation, but I've picked up some side gigs and should be back on track soon. The priceless moment when Raul saw me at his parents' house was worth every penny. I've changed my locks and added a security camera by the door, just in case, even though Raul never had a key. No sign of him coming around, thankfully. As for dating again, that's a big nope for now. My heart needs some serious recovery time. I spent last night chilling on my balcony with my new journal, jotting everything down. It made me think about how we often see only what we want to see in people, and how sometimes we hang on to an idea that's already gone, without even realizing it. I'm not rushing into anything new. For now, I'm all about focusing on myself and appreciating how much stronger and aware I am. Even when things feel overwhelming, there's always a way forward. Oh, and before I forget, this is really my last update on all this drama. For those who've been curious, I've heard nothing significant from Raul, just some random thinking of you texts that I've completely ignored.